Hey, how are you? A friend of mine that lives today in another country, she's a Brazilian, she asked me to prepare a video for advanced students. A video for advanced students. So today I'm gonna talk a little bit, just a little bit about the word how long. How long? Quanto tempo? How long? Be careful with this question, how long? Because when you ask how long, you are talking about a period of time, a period of time. Then we have to use the perfect continuous. We have to use the perfect continuous. Because the perfect continuous talk about the duration of an action. So if I ask you, how long have you been living in New York? How long have you been living in New York? How long have you been living? I have to use the perfect, and the construction of the perfect continuous is have plus been plus ing. Have plus been plus ing. ing. This is the perfect continuous. So, how long have you been living in New York? How long have you been living in your city? The answer is I've been living in New York for 3 years. Or I have been living in New York since 2015 or 2015. Most people prefer to say 2015. So when you use how long, be prepared to use the perfect continuous, because we're going to talk about a duration time, a duration tense. How long have you been living in your city? I have been living in Taubaté for 5 years. That's the present perfect continuous. Or you can use the past perfect continuous. I had been living in New York for 3 years when I moved to Canada. I use the past perfect when I talk about the duration of a time, before another past. The duration of a time in the past before another past. For example, I had the past tense. I had been. Eu tinha estado vivendo. I had been living in New York for 3 years when I moved. Past. Some people are going to say, I was living in Taubaté, I was living in New York for 3 years. But the right verb, the right tense is, I had been living in New York for 3 years when I moved to Canada. And I can use the future. I will have been living for 10 years in New York at the end of this year. That means there is a duration time in the future. Eu terei estado vivendo, I will have been living for 10 years in New York at the end of this year. At the end of this year, in the future, at the end of this year, I will have been living, eu terei estado vivendo for 10 years in this city. So, when you ask how long, be prepared to use the perfect continuous tense. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any question, just find me on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com And Evaristo, my name Evaristo, professor de Inglês. So, facebook.com Evaristo Professor de Inglês, Professor de Inglês, Evaristo Professor de Inglês. Just find me there, send your question, and I do a video about your question. Alright? See you around. Have a great day. Have a great year. Bye bye. See you later.